As a man who just got into a relationship just recently and now feels more happier than usual, I mean, I never thought I would say that for once. Like, getting back into a relationship. Like, it feels so, I guess, foreign now. 'Cause, I mean, after 8 years of being single and just kind of bittersweetly just look at people and like, oh, look at the happy couple. I'm just kind of just sitting there, like, forcing like a fake smile and being just kind of like, damn, I wish I had that. Like the weird edgy kind of shit. Just like, damn, I wish I had that kind of happiness that they have. It's not fair that they have that. Until like it finally came true. I finally met someone who was, well, honestly, it's an old friend, surprisingly or not, which is kind of crazy. I was like, oh wow, I met you long ago? How long? It's like at least 2 to 3 year time gap. Apparently we hanged out before. Ironically, it was on VR chat. We hanged out, we laughed, we actually kicked it off, we mingled, I remember the first time when we had feelings for each other, I tried to ask her out. In the worst way possible, but still tried to. She gave me commendability, but at the time she was already seeing someone or just wasn't really ready for one. So, I mean, I was sad and just kind of like, understandable. I'll still be around and still be her friend and stuff. Which kind of didn't happen, because I guess the pain was too difficult for me. Because seeing her with her partner made me kind of sad in the same way I felt around everybody else who was with the same level of happiness. And I just kind of left. I disappeared from her. I think I tried to give her like one last goodbye or tell her I was going to go on vacation or something. But I just couldn't even look at her. I just bailed. And it's been like at least a 1 or 2 year time gap since then. A lot has happened in terms of like me personality wise and maturity and for her until I'm sorry. Until now, at least a month ago, at least 2 to 3 months ago, I finally, met her again. Just like, oh, hi, how's it been? Me being awkward because we haven't talked in so long. I was just fresh out of my element. We talked, we caught up. Like, she told me how much it hurt. No, that was a lie. At first, like, we caught up and she couldn't even remember me. So I tried all my usual little antics to try to make her remember me. And eventually she did, and we got really serious with it, and we hung out more and more. And as at least a month or two went in, we finally had the talk, and we talked to each other and just kind of had a confessional, like just between friends, and just like how things went down and how things kind of ended so abruptly and just so, disjointed. She told me how much I hurted her, how much I caused her pain emotionally, mentally, just up and leaving without a trace, without even much as a goodbye. And I apologized to her profusely, just like telling her I wasn't in a good mental headspace with it. I wasn't good emotionally. I didn't know how to confront a problem like that. And despite all my years of being rejected by every girl I could ever have a crush on, which is a handful, but not even a lot. Those like only like the certains that I had like a whole deep future relationship with, like I could see potential. She was one of them, and I was just like, it was pointless. I mean, at the time I was battling my own self-esteem issues, and then look at myself in the mirror and be like, yeah, she wouldn't be happy with me even we did got together. Because I saw myself as someone who could never be loved, or someone who could never truly enjoy the things that he has. I deserve to be miserable so that other people could be happy. I was in that kind of like self-deprecation kind of thing. Only when I'm suffering, people can find joy and happiness and a second chance at life with a lot of things. And I told her about all my internal struggles and my turmoil, and she told me that like as a bunch of horse shit. I deserve to be happy. I deserve to be with someone. I deserve to have some level of love in my life. And then I should have told her. It's just like I didn't want to hurt her. I just didn't want to, because I know who I am, and I know how I always will be. I could try and change myself multiple times, but in the end, I am who I am. I am who I'm created to be. I was molded by my life, so I can't just change nature by proxy. And then she reassured me by saying I didn't have to change. Surprisingly, she loved me for who I was and who I am now. She always cared about me. Said I was her strength in a lot of places. I always talked to her, I always checked up on her, I always made sure she was okay. One of the few people who actually appreciate the fact that I work tirelessly to make sure she's happy and life is good for her. She appreciates where usually my good deeds will always kind of just go unanswered for a lot of people. Not everyone, but just a good majority. And that honestly sparked something in me. A lot of things. It was like one of the few times where a girl I was actually romantically involved with or wanted to be involved with noticed my good deeds, noticed my sacrifices and a lot of things I've done. Noticed things. She didn't try to play them off. She wasn't creeped out. She wasn't afraid or any of that shit. She truly saw me for me. And we got interested. We talked to each other more. We hanged out. We fell in love. I fell in love. And this wasn't just your usual, oh, this is like my crush 346. I'll ask her out, get rejected, and move on. Like, no, I saw potential. And I only felt this at least a whopping 3 times in my life. And that was my ex, and that was the short girl I had a thing for. Designated code name is Clown. A long story. And her. Like, she was something I didn't want to lose. But even then, back then, and I guess somewhat up until now, I was still fighting with my inner turmoil about, who I am and was I even good enough for her. I told her my dreams and passions of being a YouTuber and one day a voice actor. Told her I wanted to be a house husband just because I didn't want to work. And she was okay with that. She likes that kind of ambition. She said at least I had a goal. I had something in mind. She doesn't even fucking mind if she worked. As long as she was with me and she was happy. And at first I thought this was like a red flag. I thought this girl was desperate or something. And I was just being crazy. I knew it was too good to be true. But no, she was genuine with her emotions. Even in recent events, I fucked up greatly. I got caught in a honey trap courtesy of one person. She still stayed. I got caught in a lot of... I did a lot of dumb shit. Not well, I guess you could say we're intentionally, but just out of just like... I guess... second nature, just like, yeah, I'm gonna be honest, it was second nature. It's just like, I know I had a good friend or someone who I'm romantically interested in, and by proxy I want to try to fuck that up so they wouldn't like me anymore or want to hang out with me, so they could spare themselves of being trapped by me forever. I mean, my friend, my best friend, my boy, that fan, like, who did the dang opera stream with me, he's one of those people who I tried my hardest to get rid of, but he still stayed. Hell, I question him to this day about why we're still friends, why we still hang out. I offer him nothing, I give him nothing, I do nothing but kill his brain cells, and he's just like, I enjoy that shit. And it's just like, well, you know the drill, you're stuck with me. And I asked the same thing about her. It's like, why do you like me? I don't do nothing for you, I offer nothing. You say I'm everything, but to me I'm nothing. I don't have the things that you possibly could want. She told me, me being here and taking care of her, supporting her, giving her the kind heart that usually no one will show, being nice and going out with a limb. She knows she knows that I'm a very good person and deep down in the heart. Sure, I may act like a pompous asshole or a complete, special kid's needs, but deep down she knows that I mean well my actions. I don't do anything out of just because of the thrill of it. She told me that I was cute. We saw each other's faces, and she was cute herself. She called me, an ugly bastard by definition, cute, which really kind of got my face hot. And I was like, me cute? Nah, I'm an ugly bastard in hentai. I'm not cute. And she's like, yeah, you're adorable. And I'm like, shush. I'm not adorable. God, call me handsome, drippy, something. I'm not cute. I'm just me. I'm just a broken person. And she's like, well, I'm glad you're to fix it. And I'm like, you are And I asked her, "You are so persistent. Why?" And she's like, "Well, I might be in love." And that shit just fucking pierced through my cold, blackened, artery clogged heart. And I'm like, damn, I like this one. I like this one a lot. So until now, we've been kind of just been dating. I'm happy. Like I say, I have never been happy more in my life right now. I haven't felt this same kind of happiness since I was with my ex. And don't say, "Oh, about your friends or your family or you getting something that you wanted." Yeah, I was happy then. I was happy then there. But when it comes to romance, this is a whole new feel, a brand new world, a place that I truly don't have any expertise in. When it comes to friends, family, and materialistic items, I have a level of expertise. I know what the hell I'm doing. I know how to do things. When it comes to romance, when it comes to actually dating somebody, actually having someone who cares about you, who looks for you, who desires you, even lusts after you, it's a whole new ballpark. It's something that I myself cannot comprehend. And I guess it kind of feeds into my curiosity about it, because it's like, I want more. I want to see where it goes. I want to see how I could do with this. Can I fumble the bag? Will I succeed? Will I make her happy? I mean, hell, she told me that no matter what, she'll stay by my side, and I told her the same. I told her, it's just like, hey, as long as you can stomach the bullshit I do, I stay here. I always need someone here to help the loneliness. And it feels good. Because we're together. Not out of just loneliness. Not out of just desperation. But just generally out of feelings. Which makes it a complete killer on one hand. Because with me having Asperger's sometimes, it makes it hard for me to kind of reciprocate the feelings a lot. I can say it, but deep down I don't have that same giddy gut feeling sometimes. Even when I'm being complimented, I'm just kind of like, I feel it and then I don't feel it. It's like, fuck, how do I feel this kind of shit? It makes a lot of situations kind of hard, which probably makes dating a lot more harder when you can't read your partner's emotions. But I'm getting through it. I'm trying to help myself understand more and what's appropriate and what's not appropriate. Deep down, I'm hoping that I could one day, just share my friends and family that, hey, I'm finally off the market after 8 long years, and me just stumbling around in life. I could truly say that I'm hoping that they can meet her. I'm sure they'll love her. She's great. It makes me happy. which is the best feeling in the world. I'm actually alive again. And I even jokingly told her, it's like, I told her in this jokingly edgy way that I was just like, "Oh man, you bring so much color to my very gray life. You bring excitement to my rather repetitive, mundane thing." I mean, which was all true. It's just like, hey, I'm glad you're here in my life. My life at this point has just been nothing but repeat. It's just like Groundhog Day or like ReZero when Subaru dies. I'm just starting over from another checkpoint. I'm just reloading my last save. Everything's the same except for the dialogue. I wake up, I log in to my 30 gacha games, I play some video games and watch YouTube, and just go to sleep, rinse and repeat, And while I'm doing that, I'll look for jobs or some shit, just something exciting. But you bring value to this. You bring a lot more fun. You make me feel more wanted and validated by anything else. I feel welcome. I feel loved. And it's a whole different feeling. I really appreciate what you're doing. And hell, she appreciates me just for being here. She doesn't want me to be pretty. She doesn't want me to have $1 million or any of that shit. She wants me for me and told me I was enough. Which is the first time any female I met in my entire life beyond my own mother told me I was enough. And that shit literally broke me to pieces. Maybe because I was feeling vulnerable that day and I kind of had to crack the exterior a bit. Not usually putting on my retard funny face. It's just like, oh my god, I was enough. I didn't have to become a manservant. I didn't have to break myself backwards, turn my mind in two, fracture my whole human being to make sure that everyone around me was emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, and sexually satisfied. She told me that I was enough. Just being here and being my usual cute, smart, quirky self was all that she needed. And I had to cry like a semi-bitch. It wasn't ugly crying, it was a bitch cry. It was an understandably good cry. And like, I don't know. I guess it was just, I guess it felt good to kind of let my guard down again after a while. With my friends, I do it. With my boy, I definitely do it. But when it comes to anyone else, I usually don't. Like I said, only my boy, my friend, and her are the only two people I truly let my guard down, let my vulnerability show beyond just probably like little cracks of the cracks underneath like the funny mask. I don't know. Which is, I'm happy, you know. Maybe it'll help me lean more towards the future of just kind of being more emotional. Hell, at this point, I completely just forgotten about all the lingering, like, bittersweetness, lingering melancholy I carried over my heart. Which is kind of funny. Up until that point, I was just keep thinking and lamenting on the what ifs, what could have been, especially of Clown. It was just ironic. To that point, at least what, 4 to 3 years later, 3 to 4 or 5 years later after graduation, I did the last time I saw her was during spring break. I still thought about her fully. Voice, face, everything. I had a dream about her when we were just talking and she was giving me closure. And I guess that was my brain telling me that just to kind of like, it was time to move on. It was time to let go. And I humbly accepted. I told my dream variant of Clown that like, thank you for finally being my friend, even if it was the last length of high school. She nodded, hugged, shook my hand, and I woke up having a sense of closure for once, which is always like a heavy feeling in your heart. It feels weird. It's like you just had like a heavy meal and you feel like that rock in your stomach. That's how I felt. I was just like, I had closure. Was it with the real her? No, it wasn't. But I guess to me, it was just like, it was something I probably had to hear a long time ago. I had to simply let go and stop clinging to the past and stop trying to dig up things and stop trying to bring back things how they were over something so frivolous as the old days, the old world blues, the good old days, the fun days. Honestly, I wish I just had I wish I could get closure on everybody else. Everyone else in the old friend group. I wouldn't mind that, just like if it's the end, if we go our separate ways in life, I would love this to say, thank you for being there. Thank you for supporting me. I know for half of you, you truly weren't my friends and you're just there for pity. You empathize with me and you feel bad or whatever reason it was. But I'm letting you know now, I harbor no ill will, I harbor no hate, no disdain or nothing. For all those years that I met them, I truly cared about them as if they were real friends, families. Everyone I knew was irreplaceable. The friends that came and gone in the group were just as irreplaceable. We went through all the drama and all the weird shit and all the craziness, but I could say prominently that I still value them as friends and I still hold them dear to my heart. Despite the shit that I went through with them, despite the truth knowing how they truly felt about me, I still hold them in a place where I say that I can still offer them a hug, a handshake, a warm smile. Because that's just something you just can't do. And me being the complete pacifist and kind-hearted person that I'm doomed to be, I could never hate them even if I tried. Hell, even with my friend Nick. Even how shit went down with him, I still dearly miss him a lot. To be honest, as of right now, he's my only regret I have in my life. Was not doing him any better, was not treating him with the same kindness he offered me. Even if it wasn't genuine, even if it was because he felt bad or whatever, he's my regret. Ironically, I saw a YouTube video about him making some video because I forgot I subbed to him. I watched it fully and I was just like, oh, it's Nick. I saw his face. I saw him smiling. He was making some, I forgot what it was. I think it was something art related. I don't know, he was making like a biography or just some video homework project. He was making it and I was watching it. I could have swore I felt a tear welled up in my eye. Maybe because I missed his voice and I missed his face. I missed the smile he had. Nothing nothing really zesty about it. It was just, I guess I kind of missed him, you know? Despite the shit that went down, I still longed for my other friend, you know? He was cool. I wish things in high school didn't went down like that. Hell, at least 9, 11, and 12th grade. That motherfucker was still smiling and being edgy and weird until 12th grade, and he just kind of fell off. He became something different. He became so unrecognizable. I was just blind to it. Maybe I just wanted to believe that he was still okay, and I wanted to have my own hubris with it. Watching that video, I wanted to comment. Believe me, I was trying everything I could to comment, just like, you know, nice video, good job. I wanted to. I really wanted to. I genuinely wanted to. So badly. But I was scared. I was terrified. I felt sick typing each word I could. I had to scrap it because I just couldn't. And it's like the guy couldn't even talk to me anymore. How the hell he's gonna look at my comment and even have a single shred of joy? You know? Yeah, this is one of those, I ruined that friendship. I killed that friendship. And here I am trying to weed my way back into his life like a sick virus. Trying to right my wrongs on some self-redemption path to make everything better when in reality it wasn't. And I realized I guess he'd be better off without me. Not in some self-deprecating manner, but it's one of those, I've done enough damage into his life. It's one of those self-made closures. It's like, well, if we ever cross paths, you know, I'll offer you the same policy, a hug, a handshake, and a warm smile. But other than that, I won't try to meddle with your life anymore. I won't try to interfere. I won't try to bring myself to put myself into the light anymore. Which is the main reason why I stepped away from like half the friends I knew back in high school, except for like at this point, 5 to 6 of them, because it's just like I didn't want to. They moved on, you know. They got older. They want different things. They have families, lives, their marriage, kids, jobs. They're living it up. And I guess I just couldn't see myself to bring myself to them and just be like, hey, it's all good. You know, what's going on? You remember your favorite high school friend, creep, loser, bum guy who just hanged around and make everything weird? You know me. You know, I changed. Not, you know, I just, I don't know. I guess it's just one of those. They didn't need me anymore. I think I see myself as doing a good job. I was good entertainment. I was a good distraction. I was a good marketeer. I brought laughs, joy, stress, and all the works. I see it as they no longer needed me. So I just quietly just went back, you know, went into the crowd. Which is the truth for me. I guess I just kind of miss it after a while, you know. But I guess that's gonna be it. That's enough talking. I ran this video for far too long. I'm sorry for not posting like all the time every day now. I guess I was just kind of chilling, catching like the 32 games I bought recently. And I want to play with them just for a little bit. Don't worry, at some point I'll get back to a regular schedule. Just don't give up hope yet. Well, until the next video, I have been your lovely host with the most. And till next time, I bid you adieu.